Welcome to Talk of the Town. This is an official podcast from the town of Pinetop-Lakeside to expand upon community topics shared through the Talk of the Town newsletter. Here we will give you more detail, respond to questions, and deliver information about community news and happenings. Hey, it's Rob Hefner here for the town of Pinetop-Lakeside. We're going to do a little business spotlight today. It's a new business in town from a very, very ancient martial arts, I think. So I've got with me David Thomas. So anybody that's a Wendy's fan, Dave Thomas. Anyways,
hey,
David, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself, Rob?
Good. Jiu-Jitsu. Why don't you give us a little background on Jiu-Jitsu, what that is?
Yeah, so Jiu-Jitsu was something that was, it's essentially judo that's been modified by Brazilians. So back in the day, Jigadori Kano, who is the founder of judo, sent out a bunch of his students out around the world, basically to bring the knowledge of judo. One of his students ended up landing in Brazil, taught the Gracie family as far as judo, and there was modifications that happened as far as within that family right there. And some people call it's old school judo that Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is, but there's a lot of things that are changed from judo. I started off in judo. I have a black belt in judo as well. There's definitely there's a difference. You know, both of the arts combine very well together, but at the same time, there's definitely differences. Judo can be, a lot of times being strong and fast and athletic really helps you well in judo. Whereas in jiu-jitsu, strength isn't necessarily, obviously strength helps, but it's not really the core. It really is more about the technique that you're getting from it. And it allows someone a smaller person like myself, 150 pounds, to be able to control somebody that's say 250 or 300 pounds, pretty easy. That's kind of there are some differences and definitely some similarities as well. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu itself hasn't been around all that long. We're talking, kind of early 1900s and stuff like that. So it's not as ancient as a lot of other martial arts, and even judo itself is not all that ancient. Essentially, judo was a whole bunch of techniques from other martial arts that were a lot more ancient than judo. It's actually it's modern, comparably to a lot of other martial arts.
There you go. You very nicely corrected me. You see that? So, David, how long have you been involved in teaching? Let's put it that way.
Teaching wise, I used to teach as far as over at my academy where I came from. So both my family, we came out of Gilbert, Arizona. We were training over in Aries, Arizona under Paul Nava. I definitely had the opportunity to be able to teach over there. A lot different than it is now, just because that is like essentially my full-time job. So it would be like me coming in to teach a class, but I still very much felt like the student. And now I'm teaching full-time. So I was teaching judo, and that's actually kind of how I got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Is I was at a Jiu-Jitsu school teaching judo, and we just got absorbed into the whole culture of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And so I've been teaching for a while, first with judo and now Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and been in the grappling arts for about 17 years and been practicing jiu-jitsu for about 10 years.
Very good. Awesome. Now talk about moving to the area of Pinetop-Lakeside.
Yes. This was a dream for us. This was years in the making for us. Initially, our plan was to retire over here. We went and had a surprise baby, and we realized that we're never going to retire because we're in our mid-40s now with a 4-year-old. We've done the math. There is no retirement for us. So we decided to come to the place that we love to be at, and the place where I would always kind of decompress, actually live over here, start doing, the business that we want to do. And so essentially for us, at least for our family, we are living and working in paradise, which, takes some of the edge off of working day in, day out. And honestly, if you're doing something that you love to do, it's really hard to call it work, but it's still work. You're doing it day in, day out. And there's always that whole, the grind of it, and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay. So you've been at it here for a little over a month. Mm-hmm. And what have you found as far as offerings? What are people doing? Obviously, you do private lessons, and I'm sure you do regular studio type stuff. But what specialized programs are you introducing to the community here?
Well, for the most part, I would say that even our Brazilian Jiu Jitsu program is probably going to be nothing like that is around here. We're very drill based. There is a structure as far as to our lessons. We offer kids classes starting at 4 years old and up to 13 years old, our adult classes. We offer also 2 free women jiu-jitsu classes every week as well. And so we keep it pretty simple. Eventually, we'd like to be able to offer some fall classes where we can actually teach, say, older folks how to fall properly so they don't break their hips out here. We came out here in the wintertime, so it was kind of like one of those things where I took a couple tumbles. And it was just like, oh, okay, like this would be something good to offer right here. We haven't gotten to that spot yet because we're really kind of building up our other programs as far as our kids programs and our adult programs. It's kind of interesting. I thought the kids program would take off right away just because it would be like, hey, we've got something for your kids to, be able to go to sleep at night. That's always a good thing for parents, but it really was more of our adult program that's been kind of driving us thus far, which I think will change eventually once the word's on the street, that, hey, like kids are able to go to sleep at night now and actually learn some stuff and enjoy themselves, So it's kind of that's our offerings right there.
Okay. Hours of operation and your location.
We're basically right by Mr. Zeke's at 476 West White Mountain Boulevard. We're Unit 8. We got a big old sign on the window, and we finally got our sign street side now too as well. That just came up yesterday. We're visible. I start classes as far as during the day. 10:30 is my first class. 10:30 to 12. From there, my little people's class, 4 to 7 years olds, those will start from 4:30 to 5. It's a half-hour class right there. It goes on 5 days a week. The reason it's kind of short is because I don't know if I could keep a 5-year-old's attention for any longer than that.
Yeah, right.
And then from there, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, we have our big kids class. And then from 6 to 7, you're looking at a fundamentals class. From 7 to 8:30, it's a mixed levels class. On Wednesday at 6 p.m., it's an all women's jiu-jitsu class taught by my wife. And then also on Saturday at 10 a.m. There's another women's jiu-jitsu class, again, taught by my wife. For the most part, she'll be teaching those classes right there. She still works for a living. We're trying to, once we get a number of students, she can start actually working full-time as far as at the club, which will be amazing. It's kind of our dream to get there. But yeah, so she teaches she helps me out with the fundamental classes and the mixed level classes, and then the women's jiu-jitsu class is her baby, essentially.
Awesome. So once again, David Thomas, we're going to put your website and any of the contact information here in the links below. So if you've got any questions, you can forward them to David. Anything else you want to tell people?
Hey, we're here to serve this community right here. We picked this community right here because it was smaller and we wanted to be able to see the impact that we could make. We could have opened up the shop as far as in the valley, but the fact is there's so many people there. It's so saturated. The fact we wouldn't be able to actually see our impact. So we're in as far as with this community. We live in this community. Our kids go to school in this community. We're here to help. We want to be able to empower people as far as through jiu-jitsu, martial arts, because it really does do something for your innards, your confidence, and how you carry yourself. We think it's a good thing. It saved my life, and that's why I'm doing this, is to hopefully be able to save other people's lives.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So that's once again Jiu-Jitsu right here in the town of Pinetop-Lakeside. Welcome home, everybody. And remember, if you have any questions, concerns, drop a note to us here at the town of Pinetop-Lakeside.